Well, first off, I want to thank the fans for an incredible atmosphere. The energy and support I thought really kept us in the game, helped our defense, gave them some bad snaps, some negative plays, and it helped control adherence throughout the game. So the fans were awesome, and we appreciate that. Sick way to end the game. Obviously, guys, it's what you try to defend against every Thursday in practice for the last 18, 19 years. We've done an odd 4D check jump last play. It's been the call, and we execute it every week. We go out and do it, and we did it there, and they got the ball and we didn't. Very disappointing to end the game that way. But I do want to give credit to Tennessee. I think they've got a great football team. They're a very physical football team. They're a senior-laden team that I really believe they won this game because they were more disciplined than we were. And undisciplined players, undisciplined decisions will get you beat. And we had some undisciplined penalties that cost us, and that's disheartening. And then, the biggest thing to me is the special teams. They outcompeted us, they outplayed us in special teams, and we knew going into the game they've got the best special teams units we've seen. They compete, they challenge you, they block you, and they did just that throughout the game. And give them credit because they did it well. We've got to improve and do it better to beat a good football team like that. So I know it will come back to the last play, but for me, a lot of things in that game that could have changed that. Open it up.
Kirby, the 15-yard penalty leading did you get an explanation? Do you know what happened?
I was told we had a player run on the field without his helmet.
Kirby, we're going to prevent defense. Everybody was back, but if the guy just went up.
Yeah, we're in a defense where we rush 3 guys. We body position every guy. They got 4 receivers running down the field. We put our tallest, best jumper, highest guy, same guy that tries to block field goals on last max block, Lorenzo back, so that he can get the highest point. Ex-basketball player, trying to get hands on top of the ball and bring it down. We do drills with that every Thursday and do that exact play they ran. Unfortunately, they had a guy go up and get it, and we didn't have a guy get up higher than him and get the ball down. Disappointing.
Kirby, I was thinking, have you ever been through a game like this? But I mean, I guess you have. You were part of the kick six, I guess, and some other things. Just where does this one fall, and how do you get up from these things?
Well, you get up because you have to. I mean, it's who you are. It defines you. And this team had to get up with all the questions we had going into this game, with the horrible game we had against Ole Miss. So you have to get up and go, especially in the SEC. I've always said humility's a week away. You play good teams. So yeah, it's definitely heart-wrenching to lose a game like that. But it's gut-wrenching for me, for the seniors in that room, and for the guys in that room who competed the way we challenged them to. We challenged them all week. They had to be physical. I thought we played physical. We didn't play smart. We had some undisciplined penalties, but we played physical. So we had to play our best game. Every guy's got to play his best game. And I thought a lot of guys in the room did that. But I am not into moral victories. I'm sick to my stomach for these kids because we deserved to win that game, but we had undisciplined penalties that cost us the game. And when undisciplined players make undisciplined decisions, that's what happens. So we learned an extremely valuable lesson for a group of young men in that room that are sick to their stomach. And about 95% of them did it right.
Was anyone supposed to be in front of Jennings or cover him on that last play?
Absolutely. I haven't seen it, so I don't know exactly where he lined up, but we have somebody assigned to every player. So we had 4 guys across running with their 4 guys. Then we had a guy back that's a jumper, then we had a second guy back that's a jumper. That's the theory there. You can watch 100 NFL games that end that way, and you'll see 60 of them that do that. You'll see some that try to go get him before he ever can throw it. Then you're going to leave short guys on tall guys. So you got to make some tough decisions when it comes time to do it. I don't regret what we did. I just want to watch it and see where the breakdown was. Who didn't box out? Maybe he did box out. The guy just got up over the top of it. But again, it doesn't just come down to that play. Why were they there? How did they get there? The why is a lot more important to me than just what happened on the play.
Kirby, can you talk about the play of your freshman when you talk about Easton and Ridley's catch and Nauta? I mean, I guess if that last play doesn't happen, that the freshman is what we're.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting over there having the same press conference over there. If we stopped that one, saying, how did that guy get back there? They, we hit a big play. I mean, Jacob extended the play. They got stretched out, and his arm gives him the ability to make that throw. A lot of guys can't make that throw because it's so long, safety would have broke on it and got it out. So we were very fortunate to be in that situation to get the score. But, you know, those freshmen grew up, they played, they made mistakes. I mean, really still doesn't line up right sometimes. They do things right now, can't get lined up at times, but he made some plays. Jacob the same way. I mean, we were going backwards at times with some poor decisions. And look at this, those guys made some plays out there against a team that, to me, is probably the most experienced in our league. I can't say whether they're the best or not, I don't know that. But I know they're the most experienced, and they are physical and they're tough.
Kirby, after your celebration penalty, did you think about not squib kicking, or did you think this is 10 seconds, that's a squib kick?
We didn't squib.
Well, you just kicked short, or did you kick long?
Well, I don't really know. We called it sky kick, and that's the kick, but that kick was more of a get it away from the best returner in the country, who had been returning it almost every play was breaking out for a touchdown. So if we could have kicked it in the end zone, I obviously would have loved to have done that. They only had one guy deep. We wanted to kick it away from that one guy, but we were not going to squib it. I've lived the squib world before, which everybody here has. So that squib was not going to be in the plan. We want to get height under it. We want to cover it, get down, and get the guy on the ground. Which, you know, hey, they do a good job with their kickoff return team.
Apropos of nothing, Butch said that they practiced that kickoff and never used it before in the game, that kickoff return.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little different. They actually had everybody up, which I thought they had their hands team out there. But it didn't matter. We had already called what we called. We were not doing we didn't dictate what we did off what they did. We decided what to do when we sent them out there. And that was a decision. I mean, really kicking it deep that is deep for Rodrigo. I was disappointed Rodrigo didn't kick it deep all day because that's what we were trying to do. You know, we put our best players we could put on kickoff coverage, and we challenged them all. That's what broke my heart, special teams guys, is we challenged them all week to go out special teams these guys because they are good. They are good at what they do, and they still got us. They had punt returns that almost broke out. We didn't hit the ball high enough. They negated our punt return team, which I think is a weapon because they punted the ball so high. So once again, specialists doing your job, having good guys on there. It's not that I think they out-schemed us. They just beat us. They blocked us and got in our way and did a good job. So give them credit, and we got to get better.
You know, Nana had a breakout game. You had the most catches for the day, and you know, and for his career. Were y'all trying to target Nana, or is it just kind of just came to him?
I think it just happened that way. I mean, there was some design plays, but to be honest with you, it was nothing schemed up per se. I mean, he works hard. He does a good job. He's got to block better. You know, he's got to be a better blocker to be in the game and be effective. And we got to get Charlie involved. Charlie Warren involved. So
Was he injured? I didn't see him.
Well, he's been with a nagging ankle injury, so it's been kind of bothering him. But it wasn't like he couldn't play. It was more of a decision to go with a different personnel grouping.
What did you see from DeAndre Baker out there today?
Well, it's hard to say. I don't get to watch everything. I mean, the guy's one of our best athletes on the team. Top 5 athlete on the team. He can run. He can do a lot of things. He's not real big. And we're not real big in a lot of positions. So there's a couple plays I thought he should have made. There's one time it really hurt us in the first half that nobody talks about. 3rd and forever, it seemed like. Quarterback scrambles down to they ended up scoring on that play. It's one of those, well, it wasn't that play. When you got the first down, 3rd and 15, he scrambles down. DeAndre doesn't get him on the ground. But DeAndre plays hard, and I can live with that because the guy's physical, he's tough, he practices the right way. We're trying to get him more involved in the defense because he's one of our better athletes.
Kirby, with the run game today, I mean, it really felt like y'all broke out and were doing really what you wanted to do for a long time. Was the outside stuff, or was it the different backs, or what happened there?
I just thought we ran the ball well. We were, you know, a little loosened up. We weren't as bunched up in there. It was inside runs, outside runs, but it was more of the putting them in their sub defenses that I thought helped. To be honest, the backs ran hard. O-line blocked better. I think Ryan Herring is getting better and better as he goes. Sony ran so hard today. So sick for that kid because he competed and was a leader. And that's what breaks your heart to see guys that compete that way. But I did think they ran the ball better.
Did you try testing Nick, and did that, after his one run, was the ankle not responding?
No, he was good. We were going to use him situationally, where we thought maybe short yardage, goal line situations, which never came up. And then he got on the sideline and just never got in the rhythm of the game where he could play. You know, we didn't think that he was 100%, but he wanted to go. He wanted to be out there, and it was very important to him that he played. And he, you know, in pregame warm-ups, he felt good. You know, it was a situation we thought the other guys were rolling, doing better, and we could have used him in some protection systems because he's really good at protecting the quarterback.
Kirby, you talk about resilience a lot, and you know, Easton has that sack fumble, he has that interception, comes back and does what he does there at the end to give you guys a chance to win. You can kind of just speak to that effort and you know, more growing up, I guess.
I'm proud of the kid. I mean, he's got to play better and with consistency. But look at what he can do. You know what I mean? He's got talent. He's got composure. He's got better composure than I do. I mean, because I'm out there ready to lose it on him at times when he's not managing it right. He just comes right back. You know, and I think Jim does a good job managing him because the guy doesn't think about what he did last. He moves on to the next thing. He's just got to play with a little more consistency. He has 2 or 3 reads a game that he gets off kilter, starts looking at the rush, and hey, he's a freshman, but we can't accept it. You know, he's not a freshman anymore. He's almost a sophomore. You know, 5 games into it, he's got to grow up and keep getting better.
How were you able to limit their edge rushers?
Well, we didn't in the end. I mean, the guy got loose. You know, and it was the biggest thing was the threat of the run. And we never want to lose that threat because when they got elite rushers and they know it's a pass, they become really elite. And that's what those guys did towards the end of the game. But I think we negated it early because they didn't know if it was a run or pass. You know, when you can pin your ears back and go, it makes it a lot easier to rush. And they do have good rushers.
Kirby, what are you looking for from your team this week, sort of, and how they respond in getting up for a road game in Columbia?
Toughness, resiliency. I mean, it doesn't change, guys. I told them in the locker room, hey, nobody's going to feel sorry for you next week. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. You got to go practice, be physical, and do it just like you did this week, and go out and compete. Because next week you'll get their very best. It doesn't matter. You got to go play each week in this league, and it's never over.
Kirby, was 17-0. What do you think were the biggest factors for them being able to run back against you guys?
Players. I mean, they got good players. The quarterback scrambled, made plays. Made it 17-7 before the half, which I thought was critical. Not when they came out second half and scored. That made it 17-14, right? And they just kept doing that. They got good players. It was 17-0, and they got a touchdown that got knocked out, fumbled. So it wasn't that we were just stoning them, turning the ball over. So that's a big part of it. I mean, look, these guys have done that every game now, it seems like. And they have a senior-laden team. They've got good leadership, and they out-competed us to the end, and that makes me sick.
What about the touchdown just before the half? Your thoughts on that? They reviewed it. It didn't look like it was a touchdown.
Yeah, I had no clue. I mean, I couldn't see it from where I was. And I was disappointed. The third down got me more disappointed than that touchdown. We got a chance. It's 3rd and 15. Now they're going to kick a field goal. We're going to have it's a whole different ball game. And give it up with the scramble was sickening. The kid just makes plays. That's what he does. I've seen it for years.
Kirby, what is David Marshall's?
Concussion. And that was tough because he is one of our better sub-pass rushers, inside players. So he was not able to go.
Justin Young seemed to play a lot more, seemed to play really well.
That was because of the David Marshall he was forced to play.
Right.
I don't really know how he played. I'd have to see the tape. It's hard to say when you're out there, you know. But he did play more. And he practiced more this week, knowing that David was going to be out on Thursday, so it's a tough deal.
The guys keep talking about the 24-hour rule, so to speak, and it seems like whenever a season happens, it's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or whatever. It's never linear. What do you say to them on Monday after the 24 hours is over? I mean, is it just practice as usual? You just go get it, or how does that work for you?
You put it behind you. I mean, Monday is past 24 hours. You know.
Sunday, what do you say?
Sunday, we don't get to talk to them, but we don't get to see them. It's kind of their day off. But they all come in. The leadership handles it. You know, and a lot of times I talk to the leadership or text or talk with them about messages for that week, and it's hard, but it's life. I mean, these guys learn a very, very valuable life lesson today. At some point in their life, they're going to have something really bad happen to them, and they're going to get to respond, whatever it is, losing a parent, having a, I mean, whatever your family issues are, you're going to have a tough situation, and they're going to be able to respond to it because of what happened out there today. And we got to as coaches, because again, nobody's going to feel sorry for us.